Welcome to my kitchen. This is Dana Tries It. I think that's my theme. I think that's my opening, and I think I'm okay with it. At least I am. All right, so today we're celebrating St. Patrick's Day. If you haven't been here before with me, I try recipes for the first time. I have so many awesome recipes saved that I haven't tried yet, and I want to try on this platform. So if you like what I'm doing, if you want to see new recipes, please subscribe. Definitely helps my channel. Thank you. Okay, so today's recipe, let's go into the recipe box. Comes from JessieBakesTreats.com. We are making Lucky Charms cookies. So I was really interested to find a recipe that we could bake for St. Patrick's Day. I've never baked anything on St. Patrick's Day. Definitely made the corned beef and the cabbage and the potatoes and the carrots and all that good stuff, but never baked anything. So I'm really excited about this. My inner child is definitely... Exactly. So yeah, let's get started. So I'm going to set up my recipe here. This actually holds my recipe card. Ta-da! Okay, so if you have kids, this is a great recipe to do with kids. There's lots of fun steps. Like I said, my inner child is... Exactly. So the first step is sorting out your cereal from your marshmallows. And so I'm a preschool teacher. This is a great way to get kids sorting. So sorting is a math term where you put things with a certain characteristic into a group. So you're going to separate them. You need a half a cup. We're going to actually crush the cereal in a second. You need half a cup of crushed cereal, and then you need a cup of marshmallows. So I had both. I filled them up as I went. I grabbed handfuls and separated them. It takes a little longer to get the marshmallows out, so have a separate bowl to just put that extra cereal in there. Dumped it in. Have about 3/4 of a bag of cereal now with a couple of marshmallows in there. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Ooh, if there's no marshmallows, what? Anyway, so the first step is to put your cereal into a baggie. You're going to use, my favorite tool to crush anything into crumbs is a rolling pin. So kids can have a fun time. Make sure they're using self-control. You can bang on the cereal, make some music. And then what I like about this too is that when you roll, it kind of crushes it. Whoa. It kind of crushes it a little further. So once your cereal is crushed, I'm gonna remeasure it just to make sure it's a half a cup of crushed cereal. And then I am going to put that aside in this bowl. A half a cup of cereal crushed only warranted about 1/4 of a cup crushed. So what you might want to do is when you're separating the cereal, a cup of cereal separated, a cup of marshmallows separated, crush it up, and then re-measure your crushed cereal to be a half a cup. While another thing I will add, when I was separating my marshmallows, since we're doing this for St. Patrick's Day, I also separated the marshmallows. So I have some green hats, and I also have some rainbows. I thought those were the most festive marshmallows for St. Patrick's Day. So that's something else I separated. I'm gonna remeasure my crumbs into my cup, and then let's get started with the recipe. I have my crushed cereal in here. I have a half a cup now. And one suggestion I have when you're working and with kids, cooking, baking, have your material set out so you can spark curiosity. So you have your measuring cups. They can see what size a cup is, how to measure it, how to put it in the bowl, that kind of stuff. You know, they might say like, what is this used for? And when you get there, then they answer their question as they're going along. So, and again, fine motor skills for younger kids is really important. So have them stir, you know, a couple times, and then you kind of finish stirring it, of course. But just to spark curiosity, but also so they can start getting used to and knowledgeable in these tools. Okay, so I am going to next cream 2 sticks of butter. They're a half a cup each, so we need 2, so that's a cup of butter. I'm going to slice these first before I put them in the mixer. And then I have a cup and a quarter of white granulated sugar. I'm going to cream that together. I am using an attachment, a paddle attachment that also has a scraper on the side. I want to try to use this one. I've never used this attachment. You can use any paddle attachment. I'm going to cream that together and come back in a second so I can go on with the next steps. Make sure your oven is preheated to 350 degrees. I'm scraping the sides of my bowl, making sure all my butter and sugar are towards the bottom now. The recipe does say to cream the butter and sugar together for 3 minutes. And I think that's a good idea because it is nice and light and fluffy, as you can see. All right, I'm going to add 1 egg into the bowl. If you would like your child to learn how to crack an egg, I would just suggest that they pour it into another bowl just in case shells get in there, and then you can pick them out and toss it in here. So you need 1 egg. And then you are going to add a 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Again, like I've said before, go with the good stuff. It does make a difference. All right, so we're gonna do 1 teaspoon. If you want your child to measure, again, have a separate bowl, have them measure over a bowl. The nice thing with the vanilla extract is it comes out fairly slow out of the bottle. All right, so now I'm gonna put my mixer on again, let's say for about a minute. Okay, next you're going to, in a large bowl, measure out 2 cups of flour and 2 tablespoons of flour. That's what the recipe says, so that's what I'm doing. Next, we're also going to add in 1/2 tablespoon of baking powder. We're going to add that to the bowl, and we're also going to add 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. We're going to add that to the bowl. Then we're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We're going to add that to the bowl. And then we are going to also add the crushed cereal, 1/2 cup. And we're going to whisk that together. Let's read the next step while I am whisking. This is also a great idea to have your kids measure this into the bowl and then also whisk. And again, they have to exhibit some self-control because you don't want this flying all over the place. Make sure you really incorporate that crushed cereal into the flour. That's going to give it that Lucky Charms classic taste as well. The next step, we're going to pour the dry ingredients into the wet mixture and we're going to mix. Okay, the next step is to fold in your marshmallows. Remember, 1 cup. I'm going to toss some of these in here, and then I'm going to get this out of the way. I'm going to use a big spoon to fold these in here. I'm going to put this on the side just in case I need that. I just want to evenly fold these in. Just make sure everything is incorporated. It looks so cool. Look at that dough with the marshmallows in there. So cool. All right, I'm going to line a baking tray. You can use a baking sheet, baking pan, baking tray with parchment paper, and then let's start making our cookies and then we'll throw them in the oven. Okay, now we're on the last step. I'm gonna read what it says on the recipe card. I'm gonna get rid of this recipe box to make some room. Scoop 3 tablespoons of dough into a ball and place on baking tray lined with parchment, 2 inches apart. Then push in some decorative marshmallows. This was suggested from the person who wrote up the recipe, JessieBakesTreats.com. I like the suggestion, so I'm gonna try that as well. And we're gonna bake the cookies for 10 to 11 minutes or until the bottoms are golden brown. We'll cool them, and store in a container at room temperature up to 5 days. Here we go. I'm going to remove my wedding ring. And roll up my sleeves. Let's do it. I'm going to guesstimate what 3 tablespoons look like. I'm going to make a pretty uniformed size so that all of them are pretty much the same size. I'm going to push some marshmallows. It looks like she'd use 2 or 3 to push in on the top as a decoration. And here we go. Okay, we are ready to go and put these beautiful, look how cute those are. I'm so excited. We're gonna put these in the oven for 10 to 11 minutes. Again, make sure they're pretty brown and toasty on the bottom. We're gonna set up my cooling racks and then we're going to cool the cookies and we'll give it a try. All right, guys, here are the final results. Look how cute. They're so whimsical. And I think Lucky Charms has just become a staple of St. Patty's Day. If your child loves a different shape, like if they love unicorns and rainbows, obviously you can set those aside and make a different topping. I think the cookie size is awesome for this because of the size of the marshmallows. The first batch actually cooked for 15 minutes. I just think the size of the cookie needs a little extra time. I have another batch in there, so I'm gonna check it at 10 minutes, 12 minutes, and then if it needs extra time, another 15 minutes. So let's give it a try. And thank you to JessieBakesTreats.com. So far, so good with this recipe. Now it's the true test. Cheers. Happy St. Patty's Day. Look at those colors inside. That's so cute. Purple, red, blue. Very cute. It is reminiscent of a butter cookie and a sugar cookie. So it's very buttery. It's very light and fluffy. I'm pretty sure that came from when we creamed the butter for at least 3 minutes. And then I gave it another minute when I put in the eggs. So I think that really leaves it to be nice and fluffy. It is crispy on the top and crispy on the bottom. And it is so cute with those colors. The marshmallows are not necessarily rehydrated, but they give it a little crunch, which is nice. The marshmallows on top are definitely soft and moist, which is exciting. I think they're whimsical. I think this is a great recipe to do with your kids. Try it out. Comment below. Let me know if you've tried this before, if you would make any changes. If you do try it, let me know if you liked it. Coming up next, I am gonna take, I have a smoothie from one of my favorite content creators. So check that out. Please, please subscribe. It helps my channel, it helps me get to do more things like this. You also stay up to date whenever I have new videos. Follow me on Instagram at Dana Tries It. I'm also at Cooking with My Baby. That's more about things I do on the everyday cooking, just things I do at home with my fiance and things we like to try. I'm really into craft beer as well, and I really am into cooking some delicious food at home as well. So if it's not here on YouTube, it's definitely at that Instagram, Cooking with My Baby. So check it out. I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me. Bye. Happy St. Patty's Day.